Hi, good to see you again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can see my teeth are all black from red wine
Oh,
tasting.
oh, so time for some rosé.
Definitely time for rosé. How's it going in Austria?
Yeah, yeah, it is tough. Long days. In the morning
Really lovely.
we start at 8 o'clock with the lectures, and then half an hour pause, and then until 5 o'clock and an evening program. But tonight we are free, so let's
Yay!
say. I've been here in Rust.
I've not been there to study. I visited Pepe, and actually, the day I went to Rust was the day my husband broke his foot.
Oh,
So he was on crutches, and so it was one of those trips. But it was a lovely day. It was
okay.
gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah.
Had lunch out in
This
the
is
square.
for the people who don't know where Roost is. Roost is in Austria, so I'm in Austria, and Elizabeth is in France, I think, at home.
Yeah. I'm at France today. Yeah.
Uh, Roost is a very nice small village in Austria, in Burgenland. It's east of the west of the Neusiedler so it's quite near to the border with Hungary. And I'm here to study about Austrian wines. And Elizabeth, Master of Wine, specialist in rosé wines. And we thought, well, let's taste some rosé wines together. So we found Pia Strehn.
Yeah.
She makes with her family, her mother and two brothers. She makes very nice rosé wines. And well, I'm lucky. I have four of them. And you have only two.
I've only got two, yes, sadly. So
So
yes, so we were looking, I looked at the map at where Anne-Wies was, and I thought, oh, this is actually relatively nearby.
yeah,
So Pia very kindly, I think, dropped the wines off with you today.
yes. And the people here in the hotel, they put them away chilled. So it was great, super. And
Fantastic.
it was because I saw on the map also where this winery is. It's south of Sopron. So I think she's going like this through Hungary, or she had to make a detour. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, I know Pia's watching. I don't know how long it took from her vineyard to come to you. But
No,
yes, so Hungary's that sort of
yeah,
bowl.
when you go
You have to
to
get across.
Hungary,
Yeah.
it is straight on. But I don't know now with the corona whether that's possible to cross borders.
Oh,
How?
that's a good point. Yes, I hadn't thought of that. Of course,
Yeah.
life becomes so complicated.
Oh, yeah.
45 minutes, Pia
45
says. Wow. Thanks a
Well,
lot, Pia, for doing that. I think what's interesting for me is that the Sopron area, which is between where Pia's vineyards are and where Anne Bies is like the heart of Blaufränkisch. This is
yes.
Blaufränkisch Kingdom. So it's not really surprising that these rosés are made from Blaufränkisch.
No,
Just show
they have, yeah, the
one.
Blauwring. Yeah, we both have
Yep,
the
it's
same,
both.
right?
Yay, same.
And
Um, but I'm not quite sure why the elephant in the bottle. Was this a sort of the mystery elephant in the vineyard that made Pia think of this? But this is, I think, the first in the range, isn't
yeah,
it?
I think so. Because this is only uh, from the four wines is the only one that has a screw cap.
It's the only one. So
Yeah,
Pia's saying it was an art project, but
yes,
it has a lovely pink elephant on the label.
yeah, it's beautiful.
So,
I shall pour myself a bit of the.
so I have to say, yes, I'm in the south of France, and you can probably see the lights quite dark here because every afternoon, don't think of pink elephants. Okay. um, we've got this big grey cloud coming in, so I've got my woolly jumper on to keep me warm. So I'm not really in the south of France drinking rosé. I'm drinking rosé as an all year wine in this. And one thing that I think is important when tasting rosés. Quite often it's served too cold.
Yeah.
So Anne-Wies and I were judging in Romania and Poland. Feels like a million years ago, but only 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And it was a major problem wanting the wine to not be too cold all the time, to let the fruit come out in the glass.
Yeah. But it's very nice that I love the white Grüne Veltliners and all the white grape white wines from Austria. But like Burgenland is really a red wine area, where what you say Blaufränkisch is king, and it's very nice. They are very specialized in rosé. Like I heard somewhere Pia is called the Queen of Rosé here in Burgenland. So.
And I really like Blaufränkisch in rosé because I think it has such lovely acidity that you can really play around with extracting quite ripe flavors and still keep that acidity. And lovely creaminess as well on this first wine, I think.
Yeah. And this is 100% Blaufränkisch on stainless steel, eh? This rosé.
As far as I know, yes. So I think with the stainless steel, you're getting the purity of the fruit coming through. Yeah. I sometimes find with Blaufränkisch rosé, it's that red currant fruit.
Yeah.
It's not peachy or creamy. The texture's creamy, but there's quite a sort of like wild red berries when you go along the hedgerow and you pick those bits of wild fruit combined.
And that's the grape or the way it's produced? More the
yes.
Grape.
It is the grape. Because I think Blaufränkisch, interestingly, the Rosé Research Centre in Provence has been doing a lot of studies with Blaufränkisch, Cake Francoche for rosé, just because that acidity and that crispness is always there. In fact, if you have a Blaufränkisch rosé that doesn't have crispness, you kind of, even if it's a rich wine, it will still have that crisp acidity, I think.
Okay.
And interesting that the colour, you've managed to get that sort of salmon pink colour coming through on the rosé. But just before we go on to the next wine, I just wanted to point out the 2 bottles of rosé that we have, because the second one is in a dark bottle, which is really quite unusual for rosé, because so many producers focus on selling the wine by colour. And when I was doing an Austrian rosé tasting earlier this year, I noticed a lot in dark bottles. And my impression was that maybe Austrian producers were more focusing on quality of the wine than selling by colour. I don't know if that's right. That was just an impression I got. I don't know.
I don't know. Pia can answer that question. But I think you're right. I'm here now and I learned a lot about Austrian wines, and I visit already a lot of regions, and they are really focused on quality because of the all kinds of old scandal where they wanted to step out of that image. Yeah. They are really on focus on quality.
It's quite interesting. Yeah. And the other thing that's important with both of these rosés, I think both of them, spontaneous fermentation. At least the second one is spontaneous fermentation. So we're not getting yeast-driven, fruit-driven wines. We're getting varietal fruit wines, which I think for me is very interesting in particular.
No.
We're not getting strawberry or grapefruit or...
No.
The dreaded grapefruit rosé that... you felt the colour too dark for a white bottle. That's an interesting point. So maybe people, right, showing the darker coloured bottle, I'm just going to, let me just pour that. I should get rid of that. So it's not too dark. Tall, this has been in oak, so it's got a sort of slightly more orangey colour. It looks pinker in your room than it does in my room, but anyway. I mean, I'm a great fan of rosés that are a bit darker, but I know I'm not the average consumer. So both of them are spontaneous fermentation, and it's something I'm really, really passionate about, is rosé with spontaneous fermentation, because I know a lot of people don't like it because they say if they're trying to get rosé on the market by January, February, if the fermentation is a bit slow, they can't get it on the market. So if that makes it a problem. And the grapes, Blaufränkisch, for both of them. And I think has a bit of Saint Laurent Pinot Noir crept in, I think you said, Pierre, or was that with another one? And the spontaneous fermentation allows a slower fermentation, extracting far more fruit flavor and a more serious flavor in the end, which is really exciting.
Okay. And this is from older vines, also from Blaufränkisch older vines. And I hear this wine had 93 points in the new Falstaff guide, like on the top of the list.
Okay, so Pia's saying no, both of them 100% Blaufränkisch. It's quite nice talking to you, Pia, like this. It's sort of, you know, three-way. How's the very slow fermentation? How long is the fermentation, Pia? So I should say quite briefly that I tasted these back in January, and I wrote up a report, and I didn't include them. They are so much better a few months age coming on. They've opened up to be totally different wines. And this comes back to my other bugbear, is that, you know, I probably tasted them really early on. We really need to be able to age our rosé and to be able to taste them as the secondary flavour comes out, no?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really true what you say. And also, I think this one, I had to open some earlier because it is kind of close now. And I think when you open it 1 hour before, it would be...
Right. So differences in vintages. What are the differences in vintages? Because you've just mentioned difference between 2018 and 2019. I'm guessing that you're aiming to get vintage variation and not to have a consistent commercial product that's the same every single year, which is what a lot of wines. Question, how long were they with skin contact? I wouldn't say terribly long. They're not sort of deep, dark colour, and definitely with temperature opening out in the glass to really be exciting.
Okay.
2019 has more acidity. Okay.
Through 3 hours of maceration.
So the tradition with aging rosé in oak is something that really developed as the market wanted rosé that would go with gastronomy. And I think you were talking about sushi with some of these wines, weren't you?
Yeah, this is the sushi wine.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be the next one, which I don't have.
No.
But this one with the oak has some really nice, quite savoury weight.
Yeah.
And it's not, for me, it's not as creamy as the first one. It's just got a bit more structure and breadth in the glass, which is rather nice.
Yeah, and also a little tannic aftertaste that makes it very nice food, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, very nice. And a slightly, so I'm just going to, suffering from hay fever. I quite like, can you still taste that? I mean, I'm still getting that acidity from the, I'm
Yeah.
presuming, the variety
Mm.
as well as the vintage. Nice crispness. And again, that wild berry fruit joining on it.
Yeah.
Mm. And a slightly, almost the one that's the second wine, a slightly saline finish. It's quite mouth-watering, isn't it? It goes on and on. And I can imagine what food would I have? I don't know. I'm feeling quite hungry right now. I can imagine this with
Yeah.
um, all
Yeah.
sorts of.
PSS beef tartare, like raw meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that actually. Yes.
It has body and roundness, but there's no obvious oak. So I think it's very nice for food.
And that's quite a difficult thing with rosé to be put in
Mhm.
oak. Sometimes the oak dominates the delicacy of the fruit. So you need quite a lot of extraction and solid fruit character to carry the oak.
Yeah.
So that's quite good. So you've got two others. I'm
Yeah.
quite jealous
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I shall just sit here and drink this one.
This is the Zee Rosé.
Yeah.
Like I think because we are here at the Neusiedler See.
Okay.
This is a blend of Blaufränkisch and Saint Laurent, and it is partly fermented in concrete, in wood, and in stainless steel. So
Right.
I think that must be a party to make to blend a wine like this.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be at the start, to taste the wines and then how to blend them. Very
See how,
interesting.
yes.
But this is you see the color is lighter, and it has more a bit more the peach, what you don't really taste in the other one. But it's also what you
Okay.
say the blue fruit also. And it has a very long aftertaste, but it is easier to drink. Oh, like Pia said, it's fermented in concrete. Okay, and we made it for drink at the lake.
For a
I can,
party.
I can. So I'm here at the lake, and we had a few days of no sun. But tomorrow it's going to be a hot day, so I think this is really a good rosé at the lake. At the lake, yes, and also the food pairing, like with barbecue or fish on the barbecue, or
Fantastic.
like scotties, or it's. I think it would be very nice.
And can you get a bit of texture with the concrete? Because sometimes if it's been fermented in concrete, I sometimes get a slight texture on the acidity.
What do you mean
I
by
should
texture on the acidity?
texture, I mean, it's sort of, you know, how we were saying the others were creamy, but
Yeah.
sometimes I find when it's been in concrete, it's almost as though a slightly tactile on the tongue.
Hmm.
Not obviously.
No, it is. It's fresh, fruity. It has it has more body than just an easy drinking rosé. So I made it for grilled fish, Pia writes. I can imagine too. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the trouble with doing Instagram live at dinner time, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I also have the sushi rosé.
Fantastic.
So Pia was inspiration for the other wooded rosé in the Provence, because she liked very much the wooded, the oak fermented rosés there. And this one she was inspired by her travel to Japan. I heard her say, and she wanted to have the perfect wine with sushi. So she was trying to find the nicest one. And this one is also 100% Blaufränkisch. And it's a bit more orange than pink. And it's fermented and aged in concrete eggs. And it stays for 6 months. So I don't know whether the concrete eggs is the same concrete like the other ones, because you can also have other concrete tanks. I don't know.
Yep.
But this is also very fruity with some stone fruit, and also some pink grapefruit. It is more fresher, and
Okay.
I think because of that, it's perfect wine with sushi. Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh.
It also have a nice pink grapefruit.
Oh no, the good pink grapefruit. Okay, so is this spontaneous fermentation as well or not?
I don't know. That's one for Pia to answer.
Yep. It's a slight time jet lag on that. Interestingly, I was in Japan last year and I was talking to them about what their rosé market was, and they love it during the plum blossom season. And because of the island is so long, the plum blossom, it's a tongue twister, the plum blossom season is actually from March to June. And this idea of drinking pink wine with the blossom was quite good. But then they don't have this, they don't have the same concept to make it only for the swimming pool or anything. They very much like their wine to go with their food and cut through it. So you're saying you think that crispness would go with the spice of sushi or the fish flavors?
Yeah, I think both. And I don't think you must make it too much wasabi and things, but a little bit, and then the sauce not too heavy. It's nice, fresh, not too creamy. So it's very nice with sushi or sashimi. Also, I think with tuna fish. So I want sushi now.
I have to tell you my my sushi story. So Provence have been marketing their rosé to go with sushi for a long time. And I'm very, very fussy about my sushi. I love sushi in Japan, but if the sushi's not 100% what I want, I'm very, very fussy. And so I was at this big tasting, rosé tasting, and they had these big trays full of sushi. And I just wasn't thinking. I was really busy tasting. And they had these little green balls on the tray. And I didn't think. I thought, pistachio. I really wasn't thinking. And I picked up the little green ball, you know, sort of, and I popped the entire thing in my mouth. And it was wasabi.
Yeah.
I had to lie down on the floor with all these winemakers kind of going, are you all right? Are you all right? And I'll just dine. It's okay. I'll be fine. So it was a lesson. If you're going to put wasabi on a tray during a wine tasting, make sure people don't eat the whole ball.
Yeah. That's a hard lesson.
Yes, exactly. So very interesting that one grape variety, 4 very different styles from one region. And I think that emphasizes for me that rosé is not always a style. This is something that the market needs to understand. It's not one rosé. It's here we've got totally, I mean, I'd love to come and visit Pierre when I next come over to Austria, when we're next allowed to travel. And just to see how you can get such variety with one variety. Variety of taste with one grape variety. Would be very interesting.
Yeah, super. Well, you travel a lot, so you stop by once at.
I'm not traveling anywhere at the moment. This is the. In fact, I was talking to somebody the other day I said, "Oh, you seem to be traveling," and he said, "No, I'm just getting photos out of my photo album, and I'm so bored, stuck at home. I just keep putting the same pictures out."
Well, I'm here. My flight back to Romania is cancelled, so I have to look outside home.
What do you do?
Yeah, I don't know why, but shit happens.
Mm.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
exactly.
I will come home someday.
Come home. And I noticed Pia said these wines were available in the Netherlands.
Yes. Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, I looked it up, and they are with the main importer is, I think, Wijnen van de Koning.
Okay.
.nl, wijnenvandekoning.nl, and Balthazar, but I couldn't find them on the website from Balthazar. But when people want to know, they can send me a message, and I can hand out the address. And
Presumably available in Japan, and only the classic rosés there. Then there is in America. I don't know if they're available in America or Britain.
okay.
That would be quite interesting. The Salon Sauvignon in Slovenia. Yeah, when we start traveling again.
I take the wine with her.
Oh no! So the Elephant in the Vineyard one is the one in Oak is sold out. I don't believe it. How much did you make here? This is obviously something to get in first. Oh, Volca Wines in Texas. Okay.
And
I'm so enjoying this.
Not in the chauvinist France.
Of course not. I mean, I live on the Italian border. We don't even have Italian wine in France, so it's that's really a problem. 5,000 liters only. So that's what one demi-muit. No, it's not one demi-muit. So you've only got a few barrels of this. Trying to do my calculation, 10 barrels. Is that right? 10 demi-muit barrels, or is it smaller? So this is another problem we have. We can have these really exciting rosés. We don't have the volume. One reason I think is possibly they don't get the same price as the red wines, and so we end up with people selling more red wine. But I've just been doing, so 10 500-litre barrels, which is interesting also because in Provence there's a growing amount of these demi-muit barrels for rosé, which is really nice, bigger volume. And rosé is just so much easier to appreciate after all these Bordeaux, I must admit. It's really quite good.
Yeah.
And the same price as your reds. Okay, interesting.
Okay.
So that's really good. So do you know what you've got for dinner tonight?
I don't know. I'm in this hotel, and I don't know. Perhaps I only take some bread or something. I would like sushi, but I don't know. I don't think they have it over here somewhere. We'll look, because it's a heavy program. So I doing a lot of work tonight, and take some bread, and then go on studying, learning, and working. And
I'm so sorry.
Be ready for the next day.
Yes. So Pia's saying she just ordered some more barrels, so there'll be more of the oaked rosé next year, which will be good. And then we've got. So how many more days are you there for?
1 week again, or 10 days, or totally it's 12 days. So I'm in day 3 now, so I still have 2 days to come. But we also visit the wineries. We are going to Wachau one day on a trip. And then next week we have lessons from your Master of Wine colleague Frank Smulders and Caro Mauer. So
you're going to give him dumplings?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That should be really good, yeah. And then do you take the exams at the end of the week?
Well, I'm lucky to pass already the D1 exam.
Yeah.
So I have free time, so I'm going to visit the winery Tuesday morning. Here in Roest, that makes Malbec.
What?
Not a rosé, but a red wine from Malbec. So I'm going to try to visit them. And
that'll be interesting.
I get a tip, St. Margaret and takeaway sushi. Okay, well, thank you. Okay, so I think, Pia, thank you very much.
Thank you, Pia.
For the wines. And Elizabeth, thank you very much for joining me. It was very meeting you again, and well, we must do it again with another nice.
Yes, exactly. So maybe we'll get some Provence rosé between us and try doing something from there. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your evening. Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye.